we can now think about the aperitif in an alcohol-free way. We at Dedycated, we just focus on alcohol-free cocktails because we want to give an answer and we want to provide a solution and to provide so much value to all of those that for one reason or another one they've decided to switch to non-alcoholic. My name is Domenico and I am the founder of the blog Dedycated and the learning platform dedicated.co.uk, and with a team of professionals we are completely into non-alcoholic drinks. And as an Italian, one of the things that really catch my attention is the SPRITZ and the Aperitif. Now the question is, how can you create an aperitif when we are completely taking alcohol away from the mixology and away from our everyday bartending? For so many years we have been serving so much Campari, Aperol and gin and Negronis, Americanos and alcoholic spritz cocktails. But now, with these products that we have on the market today, and so many that are really close to me, for example Wilfred's, we can now think about the aperitif in an alcohol-free way. For many years we have served little mono-portion sparkling aperitif. Things like, if you are Italian like me, you know it, or if you have traveled to Italy, you know it. We talk about things like the Crodino or San Bitter. Those mono-portion drinks were hugely served in bars, in cafeterias, everywhere, in restaurants in Italy. But we wanted something more. We wanted something that could match the idea of aperitif that so many people that drink alcohol have. But now, in respect to all of those that do not enjoy alcohol, we are here today giving you a few more options and a few more inspiration for an aperitif that respects your health, that respects your lifestyle, that respects your diet, that respects your family, that respects who you are, and respects your health, your heart and your brain. So whether you are a sports person, whether you are an athlete, or you are a kid or a young person, or you are a little bit older, you can drink with less alcohol. And today, you're gonna drink without alcohol at all. Wilfred is a product that came on the British market recently. The inspirations behind Wilfred is to recreate the SPRITZ. So the aperitif that goes into the SPRITZ, now it's possible without alcohol. In this case, we have an alcohol-free British aperitif. Bear in mind, British aperitif. So we have talked about Italy before, now we are in Britain. And we are based in London. It's summertime out there. And what's better than a SPRITZ? In a garden, in a park, in a bar, in a restaurant, or at home. We are here. So if you think about for a second, how can we make an alcohol-free spritz? So easy, just open this bottle and pour a portion. But what I want to do now is to take a little sip and to guide you quickly on a little tasting profile and a little tasting analysis of this product. And I think it's amazing, and I'm not just saying this because I have it here and because I'm filming a video that talks about it. I like it so much because it tastes of two things and two aromas, a fruit and a herb that I particularly love, that I remind from my childhood, that I remind from my home place, and so many people like me remind because those two ingredients that I'm going to tell you in a second are into our everyday common diet or on the plates that we prepare or the fruits that we eat. And we talk about orange and we talk about rosemary. These are the two most important ingredients that go into the recipe of Wilfred. And a tiny bit of rhubarb, just to give it a more round sweetness and a little bittersweet spiciness just at the end. So with that being said, now I want to open this bottle. So I have this bottle now with me, but we think that it's fair to give it a taste and to tell you straight away how it tastes like. Naturally, what comes to my mind first is the moment of aperitif just before the meal that we used to have at our home. A silky smooth aperitif in our glass, and the perfume just comes to me. So it's rosemary, very predominant. And then we have the bitterness of the skin of the orange, and then we have the bitterness of the cloves. So imagine when you bite the cloves and you chew them. So your mouth is like, for a second, it's kind of a burn by the cloves. You feel that bitterness, you feel that balsamic taste of the cloves, and then you have it on your nose. It's very persistent, it stays with me for a little while, and it stays just in the nose. Remember, we just talked about the nose now. Now that I've expressed a few feelings and a few feedbacks on how it smells like and the perfumes, now I want to drink it. I cannot wait to drink it now. So it's like drinking an orange juice that had infused spices in it. So orange on taste, much more than on the perfume and on the nose, orange is very predominant. So I had a picture in my mind for a second of a jar where there is an orange juice with loads of spices inside and peels inside and cloves and star anise, and I could feel cinnamon as well. Even though they don't mention it in the recipe, I could feel a little aftertaste of cinnamon. And then on the aftermath and the aftertaste, just after a few seconds you start feeling the cloves, that they start being bitter around your palate and around your mouth. I think this product plays so well as an aperitif because it's got all you need. It's got bitterness, it's got acidity, a tiny bit of sugar that are not predominant, so you can't think of it as a sweet drink. It's definitely an aperitif, it's definitely bitter, and it plays amazingly in your mouth. So it's persistent, it stays, and as they like to suggest it, you can pair it with tonic water to create the iconic alcohol British aperitif SPRITZ that they recommend at Wilfred, and they wanted us also to make one, and I'm going to make it for you. There are a few key things that you have to remember when you see this bottle. 0% ABV, no alcohol at all, aperitif for everyone. And then just remember, all these flavors, all these aromas are maintained thanks to natural extraction and the distillation of every single botanical. The botanicals are distilled to maintain the flavors that they wanted from the beginning straight into the bottle, maintaining a clear orange-red color, which is incredible. It's the color of aperitif, you can't skip that, you can't deny that, it's the color of the aperitif. Another key factor about Wilfred is that it's naturally sweet. There is no artificial sweetness. The sugar that you have inside, it's only 21 grams per liter. So remember, the sweetness that you feel when you drink Wilfred, that tiny bit of sweetness that comes from a little amount of sugar and from the rhubarb. The rhubarb tends to be sweet, it's naturally sweeter, and it goes straight to your spritz and straight to your cocktail. Being inspired by the recipe that you find just behind the bottle, the Wilfred's alcohol-free spritz, I want to create the Dedycated with Wilfred's alcohol-free spritz. So I'm gonna make what they suggest is the best serving with tonic water. I will give it a personal twist with some grapefruit. Are we ready? You don't have to be a master of mixology to create alcohol-free drinks at home. Let's jump to the Wilfred alcohol-free spritz. So I want to add a few drops of pink grapefruit juice. So I will need one of those very old style hand squeezer. And I'm taking the grapefruit. As we said, we want to use some grapefruit juice. Beautiful pink grapefruit that we all have in Britain. Okay, so a few drops of pink grapefruit. Here it comes, here we have. So remember, twisting the classic cocktails or creating cocktails inspired by the classic, it's absolutely nothing wrong. It's just taking the new products on the market, taking your inspiration, your imagination, and making even better what's perfect. Obviously, it takes some practice, it takes the best ingredients, it takes some imagination, as we said, but you can do great things. I always like to strain the juice because I want it to be completely clear, and I don't want the seeds, and I don't want the husks, I don't want the seeds. They're special, they're very good, especially if you are drinking the grapefruit by its own, on its own, but we don't want this time the seeds and the solid parts into the spritz because we think they can ruin the look and the image and the style of the cocktail. We just want it to be very clear. And voila, our Our glass is ready. A wine glass is the one you will need for this recipe. And again, Wilfred and tonic water. Ice cubes. Let's remember one more time, the cocktail has to be full of ice. We need the drink to be cold. We don't want extra dilution. The volume of ice needs to be on the same level of the volume of liquid. Okay? So that's very important, a very important rule, because especially with the alcohol-free drinks, you don't have to exaggerate with dilution. You have to be very careful with dilution, because the alcohol-free drinks are mainly composed by water. About 95–98% of the alcohol-free aperitifs and all the drinks that you see behind me are water, and aromas and sugars, of course. But especially when shaking, when mixing and when building, you have to be quick. You have to give it a little stir, very quick, and making sure that you don't exaggerate with dilution. One part of Wilfred, that for me means 40 milliliters. Wilfred. Beautiful, I can smell it, I can feel it. It's so genuine, it's so lovely. And the tonic water for the bubbles on the top. I like the tonic water to come down very slowly on the ice cubes, because some of us really appreciate the layers. So as you see, there's a layer of white and a layer of orange. That means that if you drink it like this, you have the bubbles coming through, maintained very well, because you're not pouring it too much, you're not creating foam, and the bubbles are staying and they will be very pleasing. About the grapefruit juice, just pour it gently on the top. And we will create a nice combination by grapefruit, by the bubbles, and by the Wilfred that comes right after. So freshly squeezed grapefruit juice, one part of Wilfred, the alcohol-free aperitif, and the tonic water. As you see the bubbles of the tonic water are all around the glass. That means that by pouring it so slowly, the tonic water goes through the ice cubes, and around those ice cubes it chills, it cools down, and the Wilfred stays on the bottom, that gets cold as well, and the grapefruit juice just on top gives an extra layer of aroma, an extra layer of perfume. You have the drink and it's ready to be served, so it's cold already and you don't have to extra dilute it too. So you have to drink it and enjoy. Time to decorate this cocktail with a wedge of pink grapefruit, seasonal fruit. Easy to replicate, absolutely low budget, no cost, no extra cost at all. What you want is just to feel summer through this cocktail, feel the British summertime through this alcohol-free spritz. And now it's time to taste, so the best part of the day. I highly encourage to drink it responsibly. That means to drink as many as you like of this, because you are entitled to. There's no alcohol at all. Okay, cheers to your health, as we like to say at Dedycated. Wonderful, beautiful. The pink grapefruit goes to kind of complete that bouquet of fresh fruits, fresh orange peels, cloves, rhubarb, and rosemary that we had originally in this recipe. So pink grapefruit gives me that particular zesty, how would I say, an extra Mediterranean flavor to something that's born in Britain. Okay, so with a big smile on your face, just remember to drink as many as you want with the people you love, with the people of your family, or the people that you much appreciate in life, because you're giving them a gift of health, taste, and freshness. And as we like to say here at Dedycated, cheers to your health. I'm gonna have it all. I'm gonna drink it all. Oh, Marcello needs some as well.